Overheard my stepmother and stepsister planning to disinherit me from my father's inheritance, so I moved out. I never really saw my stepmom as family. But I never imagined she'd pull something this low. I was supposed to be out late. I'd told them I was staying at a friend's, just to get a break from the tension in the house. But halfway there, I realized I forgot my headphones. Stupid, right? That one small thing changed everything. I walked back in through the side door. Quiet. No one noticed. And then I heard them. In the kitchen. Whispering. My stepmom and stepsister. Talking about me like I was some problem they were tired of dealing with. Like I was clutter they were ready to clear out. At first, I thought they were joking. Just bored, bitter women venting for fun. But then she pulled out some documents. Actual documents. That's when the air shifted. That's when it stopped being funny. She said, "Once he's gone, he won't be able to change anything back." And the way they laughed after that, soft, smug, like it was already done. I felt it in my jaw first. This quiet rage I hadn't felt since I was a kid trying to understand why my dad married her in the first place. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just stood there, back pressed against the hallway wall, listening to them plan around me. Over me. Like I wasn't a person. Like I was already gone. She said I was. In the way. She said I was. Too sentimental, too attached to his legacy. She said she'd handle it if it came down to it. My stepsister, useless as always, just nodded and asked if she'd get the car. That's all she cared about. The damn car. I left before they saw me. Slipped back out, sat in my own car for an hour, trying to figure out if I was overreacting. I wasn't. I knew what I heard. After that night, everything looked different. I started paying attention. The drawer in Dad's study where he kept his documents. Papers missing. Sometimes shuffled out of order. Sometimes back in the wrong file. The pens on his desk, the ones he only used to sign important things, were moved. Ink smudged. Dates changed. My dad's handwriting didn't even match on a few envelopes I found. And her. She was always around. Always hovering. Offering him tea. Rubbing his shoulder. Helping him sort through things. She never used to care about paperwork before. Now she practically lived in his office. I tried to talk to him. Just once. I waited for a day when she was out. She came home early. Interrupted us before I even got to the point. Sat next to him like some guard dog. Changed the topic. Smiled like a hostage taker. He looks tired. Confused, maybe. Or maybe he was just too worn down to see it clearly. Or maybe he did see it, and he didn't know what to do. Still, I had to know. I had to be sure. So I went to the notary he used to trust. Old man named Carlo. Been with our family since I was 10. I just told him I had a question about my father's will. He looked up at me like I'd asked about a funeral that hadn't happened yet. That's when I knew. The will had been changed. Recently. Quietly. Legally. And guess who helped process it? Yeah. Her. She had it notarized behind closed doors. Said Dad wanted to update things. Said I wasn't interested in the estate anymore. Said I had told her I didn't want to be tied down. Lies. All of it. And she got away with it. Because legally, it was signed. It was witnessed. It was clean. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just left. Walked out of Carlo's office like I still had a spine. Sat in my car and stared through the windshield for 20 solid minutes. I thought about confronting her. About blowing it all up at dinner. But what was the point? She'd smile. She'd deny. She'd make it seem like I was just being dramatic. And Dad would sit there, unsure of who to believe, too tired to pick a side. So instead, I went home. I didn't say a word. I just started watching. Counting. Remembering. Because if they were playing games, I was going to play back. That's when I remembered the voice recorders. My dad used to keep a few around, years ago, back when he was still consulting. He'd record meetings, notes, reminders. I used to tease him about it, how old school it was. One was still in his desk, buried under some old tax folders. Dusty, but not broken. I turned it on. Skipped through a few clips. Meeting notes, grocery lists, nothing useful. Then I hit play on one and froze. It was his voice. Calm. Clear. Tired. He said, I don't fully trust her. I want everything to go to my son, but I signed it just to keep her quiet. That was all I needed. I finally understood. He was stuck. Maybe scared. Maybe hoping it wouldn't matter in the end. But he tried, in the only way he knew how. So I packed my stuff. I didn't wait. I didn't leave a note. I took that recorder, made copies, stored backups. And I walked out. But I didn't walk away. Not really. She still thinks I'm clueless. Still thinks I'm just another dumb kid who won't challenge her. She's wrong. And if she thought that was the end of it, she really doesn't know me at all. I packed my stuff and left. No goodbye. No warning. I didn't tell my dad. I didn't owe anyone an explanation. The apartment I found was cheap and ugly, but it was mine. 1 bedroom, stained carpet, broken blinds. Didn't matter. I needed distance, not comfort. She probably thought I was pouting. Thought I'd cool off and come back once I got tired of the silence. That was her first mistake. I wasn't spiraling. I was planning. I backed up the recording first. 3 copies. USB drive, cloud, second email account. I didn't say a word to anyone. I just sat with it. His voice in my ear, confirming what I already knew. She was controlling him. He didn't trust her. But he gave in anyway. It wasn't enough. Hartley, the lawyer I hired, said that up front. I needed more than his voice. I needed a pattern. A paper trail. A reason for a judge to even care. So I started building one. Every weird bank transfer? Logged. Every new item my stepsister showed off online? Screenshot. Every time a bill showed up in her name instead of his? Noted. I tried one last time to reach my dad. Texted him a basic message, nothing heavy. Can we talk privately? No reply. Not even a read receipt. She had his phone, or she trained him not to respond. Either way, that door was shut. So I skipped the emotional part. No confrontation. No begging. I went straight to the notary again. The same guy who looked at me sideways last time. I asked him what he'd do if someone changed a will under pressure. He told me to get a lawyer. That was his version of a green light. Hartley didn't waste time. Sharp, calm, didn't care about the family drama. She laid it out in steps. We go after the signature inconsistencies. The change in beneficiary logic. The timing. The fact that it was done quietly, with zero transparency. The more I gave her, the more solid it got. Then the call came. Block number. I picked up. It was her. My stepmother. She played it light. Fake concerned. Said she heard I'd moved. Asked if I was. Okay. She was trying to bait me. I said nothing. Just listened. Then she slipped. Said, this kind of behavior isn't good for your father. Said it like a threat, not a concern. That's how she operates. Manipulation dressed as politeness. I hung up. Sent the call log to Hartley. That was enough for her to start pushing back. We filed a formal inquiry. Froze parts of the estate. That's when things escalated. I got served. She filed some garbage motion claiming I was emotionally unstable. That I was acting out. Said I left in anger and was now trying to destroy the family. That's what they do when they're losing. They play victim. Shift the story. She didn't expect me to have Dad's journal. Locked in a box in the attic. I knew the combination. She probably forgot it existed. He used to write in it at night, when he thought no one noticed. He wrote everything. How she pressured him. How she always brought up money when he was sick. How she wanted things handled. I didn't get sentimental. I scanned it, flagged the important entries, sent them to Hartley. More evidence. Then came the voicemail from her mother. Of all people. Acting like we were close. Asking me to come home and not make a mess. They were scrambling. That's all it was. I didn't call back. I don't care about being understood anymore. I don't care if my dad ever figures out what's really going on. He let it happen. Maybe he was tired. Maybe he was scared. Doesn't matter now. This isn't about him. This is about me. She tried to erase me quietly, like I'd just vanish and stop being a problem. She tried to control everything, the story, the house, the bank accounts, even my silence. But I'm not quiet anymore. And I'm not done. She still thinks I'm clueless. Still walks around that house like she's already won. I haven't been back since I left. No visits. No fake smiles. No pretending. I moved out and didn't look back. She thought that meant I gave up. What she didn't realize is, I left to work in peace. The court date isn't set yet, but the letters have been sent. Discovery requests, asset reviews, full inquiry into the changes made to the will and when. The estate is locked until this gets sorted. She can't touch it now. That's when the panic started. First came the texts. From my stepsister. Suddenly acting warm, fake friendly. Hope you're okay. Dad misses you. We should talk. She never cared about Dad until there was money involved. Now she wants to reconnect? I blocked her. Then came the guilt plays. A card in the mail with a Bible quote. Like that would do anything. Like scripture could undo fraud. Then the lawyer call started. Her side wanted to discuss options before it got messy. Translation, they knew they were exposed. They wanted me to back off. I didn't respond. My lawyer submitted the journal pages, the recording, screenshots of the account changes, everything. Even the voicemail. The paper trail is tight now. And then, out of nowhere, my dad called. First time in weeks. He sounded off. Like he wasn't sure if he should be calling me. I didn't say much. Just listened. He asked where I was. If I was okay. Then said something that stuck. He said, I don't know what's going on. I wanted to yell. I wanted to ask him where he's been, if he even read the will before signing it, if he even noticed the way she took over everything while he stood there half awake. But I didn't. I didn't give him that. I told him the truth. I said, you signed it. But you knew it wasn't right. You said so on the recording. You said it just to keep her quiet. He didn't respond right away. Then he said, I didn't think you'd find that. So yeah, he knew. He just didn't think I'd do anything with it. And that hurt more than the betrayal. Not that he got manipulated, but that he didn't think I'd fight back. Like I'd just roll over and take it. Like I wasn't even worth defending. I ended the call. Didn't say goodbye. 2 days later, her lawyer sent a revised proposal. They offered to restore me into the will if I signed an NDA and dropped the case. That told me everything. They're scared. They know I have the leverage now. I didn't take the offer. I don't want her deal. I want it in court, on paper, public. I want the version she tried to bury dragged out under courtroom lights. She wanted a clean win. A quiet erasure. I gave her neither. Now she walks around like the house is still hers. It's not. She's a tenant of time. She's standing in something borrowed. My father's still quiet. Doesn't reach out again. Maybe he's embarrassed. Maybe he's just old and tired. I stopped hoping for anything from him. I'm not angry anymore. I'm done feeling anything about it. I lost years in that house. Wait. Sleep. Energy trying to play the role of the grateful son while she chipped away at my existence. And what did she gain? Control. Temporarily. But that's over now. The last time I saw her in person was at the bank. Total accident. I was coming out. She was going in. She saw me, smiled. That same fake smile. Said, still fighting? I didn't answer. I just kept walking. She has no idea what's coming. She thought I had nothing. But I had the one thing she never considered, proof. And I'm not afraid to use it. So no, this isn't over. Not even close.